Hey, I wanted to talk to you a little bit today about something that's really interesting to me. Sometimes I talk to people and they say, I don't really need an agent. You don't need an agent? That's interesting. Why do you think you don't need an agent? Well, I can find everything I need online. Okay. Yeah, it's a great place to start looking for properties. That's absolutely true. But you don't need seasoned representation when you're doing the largest transaction of your life? That just doesn't make sense to me. You're spending 500, 600, 700, a million, $2 million on something, and you're not going to have somebody represent your interests? Not a good idea. If you're a buyer, you need an agent because they're going to negotiate on your behalf. Sometimes I talk to buyers who say, oh, I just called the listing agent and they're going to help me. They think they're going to get a better deal because the listing agent can reduce their commission. Yeah, that is probably true, but most likely the seller's going to get a better deal, right? Because they're going to reduce their commission and the seller's going to take it as a reduction because in more than 95% of cases, the seller is paying the commission, not the buyer. So think about that. What happens when you call a listing agent because you want to have them represent you as well is that you do something called dual agency. You put them into a dual agency position, which means they're representing both sides. So they lose their ability to advocate for you as the buyer or for the seller. They become more of an intermediary. So if I'm a buyer and I'm spending $1 million, I want to know that somebody's working on my behalf. I don't want an agent that was first the listing agent and then became my agent and suddenly has no interest in making sure I get the best deal possible. That doesn't make sense to me as a buyer. If I'm a seller, I also want to have representation because how do I know how to market the best way to get the top dollar for my property? I don't know how to do Facebook ads, and I can't go to the caravan and pitch to all the area agents, and I don't know how to do electronic flyers to all area agents, and how do I get all the word out? And once I find some buyers and get under contract, how do I do the documents? How do I make this transaction happen? What kind of disclosures do I legally have to provide to my buyer? I have no idea if I'm doing this by myself. There's a lot of risk in doing this by yourself if you're a seller. So I have a lot more reasons, but that's basically it. You want to make sure you've got somebody advocating on your behalf, someone that can help you find the best property for the right price, and who is really looking out for your interests. Remember, this is the number one largest transaction, most likely, of your life.